Hello, this is Random Pauk, and today we're reviewing Darkstalkers the Night Warriors on the arcade. Now, there were a lot of fighting games back in the day, and Darkstalkers was probably one of the more interesting and probably one of my favorite. Because it's mythical characters battling each other, like the vampire, werewolf, mummy, Nikomata, Frankenstein, all these different legendary monsters battling each other. Well, it had such really good graphics with the cartooniness. Combine the cartooniness with the graphics and the gameplay, and this was actually a very interesting game, and definitely one of my favorite ones. It was kind of ridiculous that the zombie was signed to some like ridiculous rock star game. Yeah, each character had their own backstory. And yeah, this is an excellent game. The graphics, the detail in the background, the special moves for each character. I mean, they did a really good job on this game. Alright, I'm getting my ass kicked now. Wow, he kicked my ass that time. But yeah, this is a really fun game. And most people, when you watched the arcade of it, y'all took notice of it on the arcade. Even though, just like a lot of fighting games from this time, the enemies can be really cheap. I hit the wrong button. But anyway, you can see how sometimes the enemies can be really cheap, which is known for arcades at that time. But like I said, the graphics and everything are really good, and the characters are actually pretty well developed. Of course, that was Felicia. And there are plenty of good characters, like Morgan and, Talbane instead of Talbot, because he's obviously the Wolfman. And instead of John Talbot, it's John Talbane. Sorry, it's taking me a while because even though the moves are similar to Street Fighter, I'm trying to remember some of the moves. Yeah, part of the reason why the arcade is really hard is because the enemy literally waits for you to get near, and then after they get near, they just do a bunch of cheap bullshit and counterattack you. So they wait for you to get near, and then they just counterattack you to death. So you gotta be really careful, because on the arcade, they will cheap you to death. Well, I'm sure most of y'all are aware of that. Bullshit, I did the grab first. Yeah, we got him that time. But yeah, it was actually a really fun game, and definitely worth playing. Now we beat the first guy, so now we're fighting. Alright, the mummy's next. Fucking the mummy, I don't know why it makes me think of Dalsim. But yeah, you see how cheap the enemies can get. And the mummy is pretty cheap. But it's still a fun game. And like I said, the graphics are one of the most noticeable things about this game. Ah, yeah. That's actually a really good animation where it turns the Wolfman into a puppy. But, well, that's as far as I could go with him for that fight. My favorite character, of course, is probably Morrigan, because she plays kind of like Ken and Ryu. So I do like Morrigan the best because of her fighting moves are really good. No matter who you are, you turn into some kind of animal when he uses that bullshit. I hate this mummy. This mummy is one of the cheapest bosses in the game. Ah, I almost had him. Yeah, this mummy is, to me, one of the cheapest enemies in the game besides the last boss. I hate fighting this mummy. It's all because of this transformation horseshit that gives him plenty of time. To give him plenty of time to do a fucking bullshit cheap move against you. Yeah, give him a little dragon uppercut. Yeah, Morrigan is probably the best character in this game because her moves are so easy to do, like Street Fighter. She has a Hadouken, a dragon uppercut. Fuck! I hate that move that turns you into a bat. He's gonna win just because of that bullshit. I didn't mean to jump. I'm not meaning to jump forward. I meant to use her Hadouken, but it wasn't working right. I'm using a joystick. If I was able to use a D-pad, it would be a bit easier. But I'm using a joystick. Alright, we'll do one more. And if we don't make it, then that's pretty much it. Because after all, we're doing a review and not a full playthrough. But Dimitri, who is pretty much Superman vampire. And also the ultimate boss of the game. So we'll use him as the final character. Alright. Yeah, he's pretty much the main villain and one of the most well-rounded guys on this version. But yeah, throw his ass. Alright. Got him. I didn't even use any special moves. I was better off just fighting them without wasting time with special moves. But yeah, like I said, a really fun game. Definitely worth playing. Now, there was a port on this game to some home consoles. So there are ports for this game on a few consoles. And like I said, I'm trying to use some of the moves. But like I said, I'm using a joystick, so some of the moves are a little bit harder to do. If I was using a D-pad, that'd be a bit easier. But yeah, I'm starting to get back into the hang of this game. It's been a long time since I played it. But fortunately, it has very memorable special moves, kind of like Street Fighter. So I'm starting to remember a few of them. But it's hard to activate them when you're using a joystick, because I'm not practiced using a joystick. And sometimes they activate while I'm not trying to activate them. But anyway, like I said, one of my favorite fighting games, along with Soul Blade. It has some really interesting characters in it. Look. God damn it. I'm gonna lose, aren't I? Yeah, I didn't have a chance in hell at that point. I was way too far behind on health. Well, yeah, that's Dark Stalkers. A really great classic fighting game. Oh shit, my camera was fucked up the whole time. That sucks. But anyway, classic fighting game. Really good graphics with a lot of detail. And yeah, probably one of my favorite, not only arcade games I ever played, but probably one of my favorite fighting games of all time. The only one I would say is better, in my opinion, is Soul Blade for PlayStation. But as far as arcade ports, this is definitely the second favorite. And for the animations and everything about it, they did an incredible job. I think there was a sequel to Dark Stalkers. I'm pretty sure there was a sequel to this game. I honestly don't remember what it was called. But yeah, I'm fairly certain there was a sequel to this game. But then, anyway, you can either get a console port for it, or you can, use the MAME emulator to download the actual arcade version. Either way, it's definitely worth playing and definitely fun. And that's going to be it for this one, I guess. If you like my videos, please follow and subscribe. But I'm going to end this one here because unless I play through the whole game, there's not much else to see. But I ain't going to bore you with that because I'll probably die a million times because I'm still out of practice. So